Let's explore how meditation masters deal with longing. This evening's meditation is drawn from a good-hearted question. This evening's lesson is drawn from a good-hearted question found on Reddit. How can I deal with intensely craving intimacy from a Buddhist perspective? The individual continues, I don't mean it as just wanting sex. It's not an arousal or that I feel horny. To be clear. And even if you did, that's a very natural thing. It has much more to do with the intimacy itself, with the whole concept of two people fully trusting each other and feeling each other's bodies with deep affection. That is perfectly natural. Ask a biologist. They will tell you we are wired to crave multidimensional intimacy. The yearning is as strong as if our lives depended on it, because they do. From a survival point of view, the more people you are with, the more people on your team, the greater your chance of survival. From a medical point of view, those involved in a romantic relationship live longer than those who are not. Or at least that is true for men. Men in a relationship live longer than men who are single. Sadly, women who are single live longer than women in a relationship, which probably doesn't speak well of my gender. Sorry. I always loved this, but since I had a breakup a few months back with someone I still have deep feelings for, I really crave having that intimacy back. Now, let's talk about instinct. Let's talk about evolution. We have two reward centers in our underbrain. One is dopamine-oriented and the other is oxytocin-oriented. One is pleasure-oriented and the other is fulfillment-oriented. Have you ever noticed that some people keep getting back together with those whom they have broken up with? Those whose presence is less than good for them. That is because it has been posited by some deep thinkers in the field of biology that sometimes our genes almost act as a parasite, for our genes are not concerned about our happiness or fulfillment. They're only concerned that we live long enough to reproduce. That's it. They're just using us to ensure that they get to replicate for the next generation. That's it. So do not be surprised when emotional longing and frustration drive you to reconsider failed relationships. That's great for the genes, bad for the heart and mind. Let's continue. It's more of a mental, emotional desire than a plain sexual drive. And perhaps it is. So, it is no mystery that in the tantric tradition, the greatest saints have always had partners. Either they had a series of partners, or most often, the great Mahasiddhas of India and Tibet had one partner at a time. They were serial monogamists. So yes, having a relationship could be beneficial. The question is, until the right one comes along, how do we keep from losing our ever-loving mind? And that brings us to the topic of the Mahayana meditation of the five wisdoms. Here's how it basically works. As we relax into our excellent, well, let me explore this from the point of view of neuroscience. I think that things kind of work easier that way. So, first things first. Let's start with mindfulness, the seventh fold of the Buddha's eightfold path. Every time we inhale, whether we know it or not, we are wired to effortlessly and automatically access our sympathetic nervous system, which is found in the central third of our spinal cord. This bad boy has evolved not only to perceive, but to do so vulnerably, passively, viscerally, and randomly. For instance, noticing longing, noticing frustration, noticing an absence of intimacy. That might be uncomfortable, but it's a valid perception. We are wired to notice sights, sounds, sensations, flavors, scents, and the like. We're also wired to notice emotions, intentions, thoughts, memories, and imaginings. Now, this can feel overwhelming. Fortunately, this now brings us to the subject of meditation, the eighth fold of the Buddha's eightfold path. Every time we exhale, whether we know it or not, we access our parasympathetic nervous system, ensconced within both the lower as well as the upper thirds of our of our spinal cord. This bad boy has evolved to support both physical relaxation as well as mental release. So let's tie this together. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever longing we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as if it was as non-graspable as discerning wisdom. So it's simple. When you feel yourself yearning, give yourself permission to sit for 5 minutes, to sit comfortably and sustainably for 5 minutes, and practice. As you breathe in, please silently and mentally recite the only label you need ever use, the demonstrative pronoun this. As you exhale, please silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease. This will not immediately make the ideal partner show up at your doorstep. This will not immediately excise the capacity to feel yearning, but it can help you to deal with it. Persist in this for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and you will feel a shift. The goal here is not to shove away the sense of longing, but to make peace with it. Any idiot can be happy when they feel what they want to feel, when they want to feel it, for as long as they want to feel it. The mark of a master is the ability to welcome whatever comes, to make peace, to allow it to stay as long as it stays, and to make peace with its departure when it decides to leave. Our job is not to indulge our controlling tendencies. The Buddha, also known as Gautama, is said to have had a wicked cousin named Devadatta. Devadatta thought it would be a splendid idea to be rigid, fearful, superstitious, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel. Or in other words, to be rigid and controlling. Gautama thought, on the other hand, that it would be far better to be flexible, loving, rational, laid back, egalitarian, lucid, cooperative, and kind. Or in essence, to be flexible and laid back. So it's not our job to choose what we feel. It's our job to notice what we feel and to make peace with it. Not through pseudo-spiritual self-talk, but by living in harmony with our sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. I do look forward to practicing with you together as a team. After approximately 30 seconds of housekeeping, this is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I've spent about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each sect of Buddhism so that you would not have to. Welcome, my friend, to meditate like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. So, oops, I think that's the wrong button. Yes, it is. So, I want to hit button 9. Was that button 9? Let's go back over here. And let's hit this one right there. There we go. That's the ticket. So let's play with the latest iteration of Diamond Mind's Easy Meditation. We're going to begin by bringing the 4 bases of mindfulness into the path of love and release. I should say into the conventional practice of love and release, where it is love that is emphasized. Please chant with me. Rather than indulge or controlling tendencies with the follies of active visualization, emotion, magic, and belief, we could just recite these kind words in harmony with our breathing and allow our subconscious to do the heavy lifting. Let's see here. Let us accept the rigidity that confuses metaphors for statements literal, and relax into the flexibility that savors the chance explaining metaphors as similes, kind of like training wheels. So I'd like to begin with the mantra's meaning, and sadly this evening's practice is going to have a substantial amount of editing. Om I invoke the diamond-like mind let's see. I invoke the mastery of love and letting go. That can make a mind diamond strong. Let's see if that fits okay. It appears to fit okay. Copy. Okay, so that seems to fit pretty good. Let's see here. Let's hit insert the image. Wish to use this one. Do I have one with 2 O's? I don't appear to. Ooh, that's pretty big. Let's hit wrap text, behind text. Let's scroll up, and let's scroll over here. That is really weird, isn't it? My goodness. This does not seem to be working right. So let's go over here and hit wrap text through. That might do it. Let's see if that fits. Almost. Almost. Cowabunga. Having some trouble with the coordination. Insert. All right, BEN-ZA benza diamond strength. Come on, cursor, don't fail me now. I think this will work better. And I do thank you for your patience. Okay, so if you've just tuned in, and as I've been typing fiendishly away, we're trying to demystify this mantra's meaning. Together. Oh my, invoke the diamond. Oopsie. Oh my, invoke the diamond-like mastery of love and letting go. That cannot bend the diamond strength through a simple mind. Ooh, I think we got some redundance here. Hello, Department of Redundancy Department. May all minds of all beings now be as peacefully enlightened as the mind of a real or imagined Buddha, symbolized by a clay one syllable zero bija mantra. So this is less of a prayer and more of just using words to guide our intention. So we're going to take all these syllables and squeeze them down into just 6 syllables, which we're going to divide between our inhalation and our exhalation. So let's recite these words silently, mentally, and passively. Now that we're comfortable with this intention, let us slap a mantra onto this. Alright, so here's how this bad boy works. As we breathe in, we silently, mentally, passively, and recite Bija wise for all minds. As we exhale, we physically relax as best we can while striving to chant this 6-syllable mantra 8 times per breath. Now please, if this is your first time joining in with me, please, oh please, give yourself permission to have a learning curve. I assure you, if you mispronounce the mantra or go a little slower than me, the earth is not going to open up and swallow you like a great Venus flytrap. Om benza sadung, 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 om benza sadung. There we go. Let's go back over here to save ourselves a bit of the old headache. Insert. Paste. Oh yes, this bad boy. Okay, let's go to wrap text behind text. There we go. Okay. May all relationships, all speech of all beings now be as joyfully loving as a real or imagined Buddha speech symbolized by a horizontal mala mantra. Ooh, look at that. That's what we call squished. So let's see if we can't fix this bad boy. Let's go over here and give this the old tweak-rooney. Fabulous. By the way, you never want to hear that during surgery. Okay, come on now. There we go. Montre love for all speech. One, two, three. Alrighty, let's do the old cut and paste. Or I guess copy and paste, that would be more correct. Om benza zaduhung, 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 om benza zaduhung. May all bodies or forms of all beings now enjoy the beautiful Halcyon and Buddhist statuary, depicting the blissful body of a real or imagined yet dominant type of enlightenment such as Dorje Senpai. Om benza zaduhung, 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 om benza zaduhung. May all circumstances or lots of all beings now have the good fortune or boon, as a Buddha's real or imagined paradise, pure land or Vanti. Om benza zaduhung, 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 om benza zaduhung. Oh, look at this. Let's go over here and do the old delete Aruni. And now, let us bring whatever we spontaneously notice into the path of awareness and release. So I'm going to take a moment to recap what we discussed during the opening lesson. As we inhale, we can silently, mentally, and passively recite the universal label, the demonstrative pronoun this. As we do so, we can kick back and watch the antics of our mind as it perceives, emotes, intends, reasons, recalls, and imagines. As we exhale, while we silently, mentally, and passively recite the one-syllable verb ease, we can notice ourselves relaxing into the non-graspable nature of mind. Together, as a team, let us let us now bring the four bases of mindfulness into the ultimate practice of love and release, where it is release that is emphasized. Together, let us chant. As we relax into our exhalation, all perception, emotion, intention, cognition, recollection, or imagination that we clearly notice during our inhalation could feel as non graspable or void as a Buddha's real or imagined syllable or bija of light. So if you've just joined us, what we're going to do is take all these words and compress them into just 8 syllables, which we're going to divide between our inhalation and our exhalation. Now, it's not our job to actively visualize or actively imagine or actively believe or actively emote. All we're doing is silently, mentally, and passively playing with words in harmony with our breathing, and that enough is sufficient to train us in a perspective that can help us to get better and better at letting go. Now that we're comfortable with the 6 syllables, we can silently and mentally recite them during the inhalation. During the exhalation, we can physically relax as best we can, while striving to chant these 6-syllable mantra 8 times per breath. Now please, if this is your first time joining us, please give yourself permission to have a learning curve. Om benza satuhung, benza satuhung, Om benza satuhung, benza satuhung, Om benza satuhung, benza satuhung, Om benza satuhung, benza satuhung. As we relax into our exhalation, all resounding communication, all speech that we perceive during our inhalation could feel as non-graspable or void as a Buddha's real or imagined communication or mantra of light. Om benza satuhung, 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 Om benza satuhung. As we relax into our exhalations, all sensual bodies or forms that we perceive during our inhalation could feel as non-graspable or void as an archetype Devi or your Dhamma of enlightenment. Oops, let's see if we can fix this here. Oh, you know what I think would be better? Let's do it. Let's do some editing here. There we go. This might make more sense. Let me see. Let's 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. As we relax into our exhalation, all sensual bodies that we perceive during our inhalation could feel as non-graspable to avoid as an archetype of enlightenment or your Dhamma of light. Om Benza Saduhung, 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 Om Benza Saduhung. As we relax into our exhalation, all appearing circumstances or lots that we perceive during our inhalation could feel as non-graspable to avoid as a Buddha's real or imagined paradise, land or body of light. Om Benza Saduhung, 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 Om Benza Saduhung. Again, let us bring whatever we spontaneously notice into the path of awareness and release. Again, let us bring the four bases of mindfulness into the conventional practice of love and release, where it is love that is emphasized. That is on. Oh, that's what happened. Okay, never mind. Let's go back over here and remove this bad boy. May all clear minds of all beings know be as peacefully enlightened as the mind of a real or imagined Buddha symbolized by a Tikle one suitable zero bija mantra. Om benza zato benza zato Om benza zato benza zato Om benza zato benza zato Om benza zato benza zato. May all relationships or speech of all beings to be as joyfully loving as a real or imagined Buddha speech symbolized by your horizontal Lama mantra. Om benza zato benza zato Om benza zato benza zato Om benza zato benza zato Om benza zato benza zato. May all bodies or forms of all beings now ensure the beautiful health in Buddha statuary, depicting the blissful body of a real or imagined yet almanac type of enlightenment such as Dorje Sempa. Om benza zato benza zato Om benza zato benza zato Om benza zato benza zato benza saduhung, om benza saduhung. May all circumstances or lots of all beings know have the good fortune or boon. As a Buddha's real or imagined paradise, land or Vanti. Om benza saduhung, 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 om benza saduhung. Again, let us bring whatever we spontaneously notice into the path of awareness and release. Please chant with me. In our compassion may we long to free all beings from the toxic tyranny of heaven. Hating, craving, and clinging, metaphorically known as the three mental poisons. In our pragmatism may all liberation of all others be fueled by our reliance on the Buddha's example, instructions, and students, described by the metaphor of the three wish-fulfilling jewels. So, if you wish, having sat with me for approximately 75 minutes, you might find it refreshing to join me for about 7 or so repetitions of Tibetan-style Buddha bowing. I find this to be a delightful calisthenic. Your participation is up to you. May we free all through thee, three jewels. 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 Woo. All right. Let us seal this evening's practice by chanting love and letting go's wishes for universal enlightenment and well-being. May all minds of all beings lucid yet void now be as enlightened as a Buddha's mind symbolized by a one-syllable Bijan. May all speech of all beings resounding yet void now be as loving as a Buddha's speech symbolized by a multi-syllable mantra. May all forms of all beings sensual yet void now be as healthy as a Dharma archetype depicted in Buddhist statuary. May all lots of all beings appearing yet void now be as fortunate as a pure land of law represented in Buddhist paintings. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 10 2/3 hours, I would very much like to return to lead tomorrow's early meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.